Hey guys, it's Dasha. It's been a while, and I thought that I would just make a video and tell you what's been going on. And this video will be a little bit different. I'll be more telling a story. It'll be more like a story time video, telling you guys what chaos I've been going through. And I'll be telling this story for probably the millionth time now to some people, but I think it's a good idea that I tell this story so people know what I've been through, and I know that some people have been dealing with this situation too, and I'll just tell it. Please don't judge in the comments, and I guess let's just get to it. So I'm going to be sharing with you guys my depression story. Now, this story I have told to probably a lot of people, but nobody seems to understand. Since even though a lot of people go through depression, stress, anxiety, the people who don't really feel or know what's happening. So this all started last year, before the last video that I posted, which I posted in May. It was late January, early February of 2019, the beginning of the new year. And me and my mom were going to a trip to Israel because my grandparents lived there and we just wanted to go explore. And I eventually ended up missing a week of school. And when I came back from our trip, it turns out that I had missed so much. And I thought that in a week it wouldn't be as much work that I missed, but I actually missed probably more than 20 assignments. I can't even remember now. But after I missed those assignments, and I had trouble getting them up since I had struggled with school before this trip, it kind of got me stressed out, and I only had one good friend at the time. And we didn't know what to do about the situation. But then it was probably like about the time it is now, like late March, mid-March, and I still couldn't get my work in. It was way too complicated. I was so confused. The teachers didn't do anything for me, except for one teacher who literally was a lifesaver to me. And it ended up making me feel like, oh, you're a failure if you can't do work at school that's simple for other people, then you're not going to get anywhere in life. And that thought really hurt me. And during that time, I was getting teased about my appearance, my looks. So it was very hard. And that's just how it all started. It just went downhill from there. And once the sad feelings and depression came, it's like I couldn't get rid of it. And people will say in the comments that they understand, but unless you've actually been through it, you don't understand. There's this one teacher we still communicate to this day. She helped me with a ton of my sadness issues, and we became really, really close friends, which we still are today. I actually communicated with her recently. And I was in that time during someone's battle with depression where they don't want the pain to be there anymore. Which, obviously, in every single depression case, whether it's severe or mild, I think there's always some type of, like, will not to live. And I definitely felt that for many parts of that journey. And I told this teacher, and she kept telling me, "Oh, you matter. I don't know what I would do without you. You're such a sweet person." And even though she was my only friend, it really meant a lot to me because she was one person and she said it, and it meant so much to me. So she basically saved my life that time. But as time went on, things just honestly got way worse. It got so much worse. So basically, I had 3 friends, and one of them just decided to leave me. She just said, "You're a terrible person, and you should have some time apart from me, and I hope you have a nice life." That's what she said, and honestly, it just brought me all the way down to where I was before. And she never came back to me. To this day, we still walk by each other in the hallways as if we've never met. And I think that was the peak for me. Like, 8th grade was one of the most difficult years, and I was still behind on all of my work. My friend, that girl that unfriended me, who I was just talking about, was in all of my classes, and it was so awkward. I could feel that she sensed the pain that I was going through, but she never talked to me. The other 2 girls that I was friends with, they went onto her side and they ignored me for a long time. But me and those 2 became friends again, and we're still talking. We can't really hang out now, but we've been talking, but sadly the other one has decided to move on with her life. So that was basically the terrible part of last year, which leads to part of the story in the end of 2019 going into this year, 2020. And basically at the end of the year, I had to leave that fantastic teacher who saved my life behind. That was my last year in middle school, and as And as I was going into my first year of high school, which I'm so close to finishing now, we wouldn't be in the same building anymore. And it would be way harder for us to see each other. And if you know me in person and we're friends, you definitely know who I'm talking about. Please don't name names. That summer was very difficult because I had that thought that she would forget me, and it was horrific. I couldn't stop crying, and in my opinion, I didn't think that my parents cared. My parents, they just said that it was just some type of teenage thing that 13-year-olds go through that will be gone in a matter of a few months or perhaps a year. And if you haven't had depression, you know that that is not how it works. You feel this constant voice that you're not worth it and that you're not wanted, which I've heard a lot. And leading into this year, as a 9th grader, the pain still hasn't stopped. I thought that I was feeling better, that I was finally becoming happy again. And then, I don't know, I just lost it. It's been so difficult, and every single day I miss that one teacher who just saved me from giving up. And this year, at the start of this year, I had some amazing teachers who also saved my life. I remember probably a month back, there was an incident in my math class, and someone was accusing me of being a terrible person when I did nothing. And honestly, it just made me give up and cry right in the middle of class. But that teacher helped me, and I'm really grateful to have him in my life. And that's basically how we became good friends. I still get teased, and my teachers really try their best. I've been seeing a counselor at school, but honestly, I don't think anybody can really take this guilt feeling away from me. Like, sometimes I really feel that I'm not wanted and that I really don't belong. And nobody in my life could really help with that. Only my teachers understood. I also have a English teacher and a science teacher who I still communicate today. They're my teachers. They're my teachers right now. They're such amazing human beings, and I'm not naming any names, obviously, because of confidentiality, but I just want to say they are the most blessed, most lovely people to ever enter my life, including that teacher from last year. And I've definitely felt suicide thoughts and feelings where I just didn't want to be in this world anymore. But when I told my teachers, especially my English teacher currently, they reached out, they cared, and I'm really trying not to get emotional right now. But if I could tell them how much they mean to me and that they've made my life so much better, I couldn't even express that in words because of how much they've helped me. And even though I don't have that teacher from last year, I'll always remember one thing that she said. She said, if you're waiting for life to be perfect, you're going to be waiting a very long time. Which, even though it's kind of sad when you think of it, it's true. And when I met her, that was the moment when my life was very close to perfect. But that teacher, I feel, didn't get any credit for how she helped, and nobody really acknowledged her. She was one of those teachers who was very nice. She is one of those teachers who is very nice, and everybody hated her except for me because they wouldn't pay attention in class, causing her to be more strict, which is part of all teachers' natures, which is why all of the teachers that I love are disliked. But I helped them through it. I'm helping them through it, and they're helping me through my issues, and it's still not over. I was feeling better during November 2019. I was happier, even though I had no friends except for teachers. I was happy that I had them, and I'm still happy that I do. But probably after Christmas, in February this year, we obviously heard about the virus, which has been, honestly, it's been killing all of our lives, literally and figuratively. It's made me feel lonely. It's made me feel isolated. I've been quarantined in my house just for me and my family's safety so we don't get infected. And I know that this is a safe thing to do, but it hurts that I'm so alone, and my parents don't even understand. Neither does my younger sister, who, even though she's 7, she doesn't get it. So honestly, I've just been getting through life by telling everybody that I'm fine, even though I'm really not. Once my school with all of my fantastic teachers was closed, and it's still closed for another 2 weeks, it makes me feel way more alone than I was before. I think I've hit another peak during this crazy journey. And Honestly, I hate it. I know I can't control when this depression hits me. I can't control this stupid virus that's been ruining our lives. But it still really brings me down. I've just had this longing to go back to school and see all my teachers and give them huge hugs and visit my other teacher from last year who I'm missing terribly. And we don't communicate very much, so it's been very hard. Nobody really understands, so. And everybody has been so happy that we're quarantined and out of school, but I've just been devastated. I hate being stuck at home. I hate that I can't just go to school and live my life before this crazy pandemic started. Like, I'm probably over-exaggerating to some of you, but I'm just speaking facts. And yeah, I guess if you've known me for a while, this is why I've been distant, and this is why I've been basically breaking down. The only thing that keeps me motivated is that if I was gone, imagine how devastated my teachers would be, and I love them like parents. I love them like siblings. Sometimes I prefer them to my parents, even though that's probably not a good thing, but I do, because they actually understand. Imagine how devastated they would be to see that one of their favorites, smart, A+ student would be gone in an instant. And my life may have seemed perfect to you before this video, but it's really not. I'm hurting. I hope you understand. That's why I haven't been posting. I've just been listening to Billie Eilish for hours on ends because she's like my motivation and her music is so good. But yeah, I do feel a lot of suicidal thoughts. I've wanted to actually commit to them, but I haven't, because I remembered how devastated my teachers would be, how devastated my boyfriend would be, how devastated all the people who love me, which there's not a lot at all, would be. So that's basically what's been stopping me. But I still feel those feelings. It makes me cry a lot. And I barely even posted this video because I've just been not motivated at all. I keep telling myself, I'm going to get up, I'm going to live my life, I'm going to bake, I'm going to sing, I'm going to post more YouTube, I'm going to do what I do best, but my heart wants to do it, but my mind is so unmotivated. Like, I've been having so many hobbies lately, and I don't even want to do them at all. It's been such a mess. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's not the happiest, but better videos are to come. I love you all so much. Don't forget to subscribe, like, turn on notifications, and hopefully I'll see you soon.